If you don't manage and systematize your life, someone else will. People who don't have any systems in place end up just walking in a daze, not really knowing where they're headed, wondering where their time has been. If you don't find systems in place to systematize and automate your life, you're going to be prey to the system of others. So listen up.
I think we all have the point. Everyone just tries to steal it.
Me, how did I learn about systems? I had a roommate before that the way he would cook, right? He would always batch everything, right? Everything the same day, like every Sunday or something. He'd batch like a huge pot of like vegan food, and like just like ridiculous pot of food, and it'd take like 2 hours to clean and 2 hours to cook. Like, what the heck is this? And he'd have like this giant army of Tupperwares, right? And you just like, he'd fill every single Tupperware with all of these stacks of food. And I thought, like, this is madness, right? And like every day he like take one Tupperware out of the freezer and then or the fridge and go to school, whatever he needed to go to. It seemed crazy to me, but in retrospect, I looked at it and it was like, wait, he was only spending 1 day a week doing that, right? And the rest of the week, he didn't have to focus about cooking, focus about anything like that. He just needed to eat, and he ate the same thing every time. And he even bought a second fridge, right? A giant fridge just for himself, so he can put all of these Tupperwares in it. It's just like this. I think it'd go 2 weeks without cooking anything. Like, absolutely insane. And that was him. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should start doing something like that, right? Not to that extreme, but then I started looking at my life and like looking at like, wait, what could I batch, right? And then I started doing that with my cooking. Instead of like cooking eggs every day like I used to do, now I just did a whole batch of eggs and a whole batch of bacon and a whole batch of veggies, and I just eat the same shit every day. And that saved me so much time in productivity and so much time just overall. So how to optimize, systematize your life so you become more productive, that you lose less time and that you lose less money, less effort and all that. 3 tips for you, okay? First tip is that you have to understand what is a system. Basically, a system, simply put, is something where you put inputs, you put something in, and something else comes out, right? So there's inputs, the things that you put into the system. Then there's processes, what happens inside of the system, right? Maybe, I don't know, processes could be like sort of certain tools or certain practices or certain automation, certain mechanical parts, right? If it's a machine, for example, and outputs, which are results, what results you get out of that system, right? And the better the system, right? A good system, usually you need less inputs for the larger output. For example, if you put $1 in, right? That's the input, and you get $10 out, that's your output. That's a pretty good system, right? But if you were to put $1 in and get only 50 cents out, that would be a bad system, right? And a system could be anything. It doesn't have to be digital, like it doesn't have to be sort of like a machine necessarily, or it doesn't have to be like some sort of a technological process. It can be an analog process. So for example, me in the evening, what I usually do is I take a Post-it note, okay? I write down schedule and I write down my day, what I'm gonna do during the day, right? What are the main tasks? What are the 3 most important tasks? I write that every night. So basically the input is basically 2 minutes of my time, 5 minutes of my time. That's the input, right? That's what I need to put in to plan my day, and like a little bit of reflection, right? Basically the processes that I have is basically I have a pen and I have a Post-it note. Yeah, my girlfriend's playing Valorant right now, but that's okay. She just lost. It's okay. She's gonna win next round. So so I write down basically my Post-it notes, what I'm gonna do. So the Post-it and the pen, those are the processes, right? Pretty simple. And the output is the next day I wake up and I know exactly what to do, and I do it. So for 2 to 5 minutes of my time, what do I get in return? I get a day that's wholly planned, like from beginning to end, in a few minutes. And I don't need to think about what's the next thing to do because I already did it. So that's an example of a system. And you can even go to a deeper level with systems. It doesn't have to even be things outside of you. It could even be like, treat your body like a system. Your body is sort of like a biological system, right? The input that you put into your body, right? The food, the energy, the sleep, and so your processes can work, right? Your heart can beat, your feet can walk, your mind can think, and all that. And then you get a certain amount of outputs. What are these outputs? These outputs are like the result, right? The energy that you output, right? Maybe you can run now, and you can run a marathon, or you can write this essay, right? And all that. This So your body in itself can be a system. And systems, they can be automated, they can be optimized, they can be improved. And that is how I want you to think. From now on, I want you to look at the world through the lens of systems thinking. That everything around you is a system. So here, example of systems in my life, right? One of my systems that I have is automatic groceries delivery. This is insane, dude. This is absolutely insane, automatic groceries. So, most people, when they do groceries, they have like, they have to go to the grocery store. They pull out the cart. They have to go to the freaking store, right? And not even that, they have to drive to the grocery store first, or they have to walk to the grocery store first, which takes them like an extra 15 to 20 minutes, right? They do the whole shopping, which takes them like 20 to 30 minutes. They have to check out, and then they have to put it in the bags. They have to go all the way back home. That's another 20 to 30 minutes. So it's basically 1 to 2 to 3 hours of your day wasted, right? Just to do groceries. Now, what do? You go to different grocery stores and you ask, hey, do you do delivery? Do you do online delivery and stuff like that? And maybe like 2/3 of them are going to say no, and 1/3 of them is going to be yes, we do delivery. It's whatever this amount of money. And guess how much money was the delivery? $4. Yeah, $4. $4. I saved 2 hours of my time, right? And that's absolutely insane. And now I just order online, right? I click the things that I want and I just order it. And it comes right to my door. The most boring thing to do in the world, which are groceries, I just press a few buttons and I just have it. And now I even have a history of all my transactions. So what I have to do is basically super simple. I just open my per browser tab, my grocery store tab. I click on all the things of my previous history. I just copy paste. In 5 minutes, I have all my groceries. What people usually take 2 hours to make, it takes me 5 minutes. Another system that I have is my journal, right? My journal where I write things down, and I have my journal separated in different sections where, I have a section for personal development, a section for business, a section for coaching calls, and I have a section for weekly planning and all that stuff. And I just have it all divided into sections. I make it so when I input something into that system, right, I enter a note, I enter a date for me to remember, or I just brainstorm stuff, it's really, when I do that, it really gives me 10x return, right? The time that I spend journaling, the time that I spend reflecting, brainstorming things, that becomes like it becomes a POV video that gets me like 500,000 views, right? Other systems that I have is, I have so many business systems, right? I have a consultation booking system, right? The old way of doing coaching and consultation was like, you'd email each other and then you go back and forth. Oh, when are you free? Oh, I'm free that date. Are you free that date? Oh no, I'm not free. How about this date, right? And you do this back and forth for like 3 to 4 emails. It's such a waste of time. I just have a booking form. You click on the form, you choose. I have a system that exactly converts your time zone to my time zone, and you automatically book. You just click the button and it appears automatically in my calendar. You book at 2 p.m. in your time zone, and for me it's 6 p.m. my time zone, and it just happens. Just happens, right? Do you have systems like that in place in your life? Google it, search for it, you'll find it. And another system that I have is a sleep tracker. This ring, which is called the Oura ring. I'm not sponsored with them, but I wish I was, so I can make a shitload more money. But they're absolutely amazing. They help me track my sleep, my heart rate, my sort of heart rate variability, my deep sleep, my REM sleep, all of that. And it helps me to look at my body and my sleep and look at like, wait, how can I optimize my sleep to the best so I can get the best rest possible, the best output possible the next day, right? So if I put this amount of sleep in with that type of food, with that type of activities beforehand, the day before, what kind of energy do I get the next day, right? So I can play with these variables, the inputs, and the process, which is this, just kind of track everything, and it will tell me, wait, this is the output you should get for today. Oh, well, you slept that many hours, take it easy, right? You should rest. You slept that many hours. Oh, you could probably work out and, be super productive today, right? So it's like, I have something to track. Now that you know what a system is, number 2, take inventory of all of your systems or lack thereof, right? So maybe you don't have any systems in your life, that's fine. But look at the current systems that you do have. Just look at your routines, right? Look at your daily routines. How is your morning like, right? Is it systematized in a way that you can get the most output and result out of it, right? How is your morning routine like? Do you just wake up like groggy and like the first thing you do is you check your phone and you waste an hour on your bed and then you get up and then, I don't know, you just start with playing video games and you tell yourself that you'll start working in 2 to 3 hours from now, and then you never actually do it, right? And then your whole day is gone, right? Is that your system? If that's the case, then you want to switch it up, right? Just take an inventory of all the things you can improve in your life, right? Maybe just look at your apartment and it's just completely a mess, right? Can you put a system in place so that you clean it up like every Sunday or something, or you clean it up every week at a specific date, like a specific time, and you have a designated day for that, right? Think about the processes in your life that you can improve. So here are some examples, right? So like getting ready in the morning, right? Your morning routine, sort of your cooking schedule, your cleaning schedule, your nighttime routine, your exercising routine, your, managing emails, right? Whether it be work-related emails or just emails in general. Your phone. Can you optimize your phone so that you don't have to look at that fucking social media icon? Can you optimize your phone so you can delete all these social media shit that is robbing you of productivity, robbing you of your happiness, robbing you of living up to your potential? Can you optimize those things, right? And business systems, whatever systems you might have, even your computer, can you clean up your computer so you don't have a bunch of junk on it, so that when you sit down to work, you're not distracted by League of Legends, Valorant, or Counter-Strike like I get distracted by. So you want to, can you set up a system that you don't see it the first time when you wake up, right? Me, for example, I make sure that I don't have any video game icons on my desktop. I hide all of them. I even sign out of all of my gaming platforms. So if I want to play, I have to search the game, right? I have to input my username, my password, and then I have to log in, press a button. It takes me at least 5 minutes, to do that. So then, it gives me a bit more friction so that I don't need to insta click and it opens the game. That would be absolute chaos. I don't want that, right? So, and you want to ask yourself, what are the bottlenecks? Where am I losing time, money, and energy? So that's what you do. You look at all of your systems and look at where are you losing energy? Why are you losing efficiency, right? And you can ask yourself some interesting questions like, how can you reduce cost without losing quality, right? How can you reduce the cost of your groceries without losing on the quality of the food that you get, right? So for example, maybe you buy less kombucha, or you buy less, I don't know, like expensive, stupid junk food shit, and then you buy actual salad, or I don't know, something like that, that's cheaper and better for you, right? Just look at the things that you can buy. How can I do this process in less time without losing on the quality, right? So for example, you could ask yourself, how can you spend less time cooking without having to resort to eating canned shitty food and stuff like that? Well, you take your 2 favorite meals, right? And you batch cook them at the beginning of the week, and you'll eat that for the rest of the week, right? And I like to eat eggs and bacon. It's pretty simple. So what I do is I just batch a bunch of that, and the steak, I'll eat it once a week maybe, or once every 2 weeks, and then I'll just do that, and I'll eat the same shit every day, just to save myself time and effort and save myself money. So now that you know what a system is and you've taken inventory of all of your systems, now number 3, create new systems and create goals. So you want to look at, maybe what are systems that you could add to your life that you don't have right now, right? So if you haven't thought of online groceries, just fucking do it. Look it up, especially right now during the quarantine. Absolutely perfect for you to do that. I'm sure it's in demand anyways, right? So look at that if you haven't done it already. You want to be resourceful, seek out ways to optimize your life, optimize everything, Also set a goal, right? For example, my goal with the cooking is not to have the absolute best meal possible. It's mostly to save time, right? Mostly to save time and to save, and sort of the mental torment of having to cook and having to prepare all this. It's really all about the time. So my goal with this task is save time and energy. What is the goal with your morning routine? The goal of my morning routine is to wake me up, right? Give me the right energy and make me and prepare me for the day ahead in order to work on whatever I need to work on, right? So for example, how I set up my morning routine to achieve that goal is I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is, brush my teeth, drink a huge glass of water just to hydrate me. I do some yoga just to get my blood flowing because I no longer drink coffee now. Update on that in the future, by the way. And 20 minutes I meditate, and then I'm off to the races and I start whatever I need to start. Yeah, sometimes I dabble a little bit. Maybe sometimes I'm a bit slow because, I'm still in the withdrawal period of caffeine a little bit. So then I will, I'll be a bit slow. So maybe I'll do some cleaning or some chores, or maybe I'll watch like a few self-help videos and for a few minutes. And then 30 minutes later, then maybe I start to work, which is fine, right? And then the rest of the day, how do I structure it? I eat at a certain time, I work out, I take a nap, whatever, and then I try to work again or whatever I need to work on for the day. In the evening, I play video games, something like that. All right, and after you set a goal for a system, look at what are the steps, right? You have your system now and you have a specific goal, which is to save time and money or whatever your goal is. What are the steps to get there? Are there certain steps that you can eliminate, right? Are there certain steps that you can skip, that you don't have to make, right? So for example, my online grocery system, I didn't need to actually search in the search bar of the grocery store. I just need to, I could eliminate that step by just going to my past history and ordering the same fucking thing that I ordered last week. Simple. And if I want the extra thing or the extra fun thing, I just need to search it, whatever, right? So that's a step that I could eliminate. And bonus step number 4, after you've set up your systems, you've improved your old systems and you've created new ones, right? You always want to review and improve. There's always a way you can review your system and improve them. Just, reassess the goal. Has the goal been met by that system? How can it be met even better, right? And you just look at ways how you can systemize that even better. And really, optimizing your systems, knowing about your systems, it really begins with knowing who you are, knowing what you want. Because if you know who you are and what you want, then you can set certain goals, certain benchmarks, certain objectives that you can reach and what your systems can reach. And if you need to have more clarity on that, you can book a free consultation call with me, link in the description below. So if you like this video about systems, you're gonna love this next video about how to stop being lazy right here. So click on that video and I'll see you on the other side. Peace. Okay, stop. Right now you're struggling with inaction, right? There's something that you want to do in your life. You want to take action, but for some reason, you just cannot do it. You know it's the right thing to do. You know that's what you want to do, but you just don't fucking do it. And why is that?